Many thanks to Felix Rection Squad, Clash from the servers, Sergeant Pepper's servers, Sea of Doors Cloud, Dallas, the Struggle Community, the Karma Crew servers, Dots, Designful, and Friendly a DayZ podcast for making this video possible. The world of animal hitboxes is just as complex as it is for players, with one particular hitbox resulting in an insta-kill for animals too. So I'm going to find the best possible location to shoot each of the animals in the game, look at how many of each animal spawn per map and their group sizes, and why shooting for the head actually does less damage. In my previous video, I made a mistake. Wobo can be wrong. Chickens don't work like other animals, they work like static animals, spawning in one location and not moving around the map like hares and foxes. These three static animals spawn when you're nearby, so they're player activated, and they also despawn when you go 100 meters away from them, as seen with this fox. Each map has a different amount that can spawn at a maximum, but only one that will spawn inside the group, so there's only going to be one in each location, with Sakao not spawning chickens at all. The health of static animals is extremely low compared to other animals, so shooting them in any body part will get you the kill, even with a weapon that's as weak as a Mark II. The 7 normal animals of DayZ have a lot more health, and they roam around the map following preset paths, as you can see here. Sheep and goats are the only animal that share the same spawn point, so it can either be a sheep or a goat at these locations, but a different amount spawn per map, with their minimum and maximum group sizes being different too. For sheep, the male ones have 30 more health at 280, and their hitboxes allow for what I'm calling double penetration. I'm sure there's a Wales joke in here somewhere. With weapons that have high penetration stats, the bullet can travel through multiple hitboxes, which in DayZ also multiplies the damage. This applies to players too, so if you hit the arm and the chest of a player, you're going to do more damage, and the same applies to animals too. This means shooting through the thigh and penetrating to hit the body does the most damage. This is the most damaging shot you can do on an animal, more than a body shot and a lot more than a headshot. In fact, using goats as an example, which have 120 health, shooting through their thigh into their body does around 5 times base weapon damage, whereas shooting for the body only does 2.5, around 2.5, and the headshot is 2 times damage exactly. However, it's worth noting that bringing the head health of an animal to 0 will result in their death too. Even though their global health is above 0, it will get drained to 0 when their head health reaches 0. This global health to head health ratio is different for each animal, but as seen with pigs, head health is much lower than global health, and doing headshots in this case will result in a faster kill. It's even faster than doing the double penetration shot. Wild boars also have different health stats too, so they're very different to pigs, but in this case, shooting for the head or body results in death at roughly the same speed, with double penetration again being the best. This is also the case for cattle, but shooting for the head downs them a lot faster than body shots, as their global health is twice that of their head health. You can melee cattle due to their bubble size being tiny at 50 meters, a lot like static animals, so chasing them to the edge of their bubble, you can hit them on the way back when they bounce off of the bubble, and it's the most efficient way to kill them, I would say, with double penetration again being possible here too, and being the best method as well. Small deer are fairly weak compared to cattle. Their global health and head health is both low, with the thigh double shot being the best method here, but their smaller hitboxes does make it difficult. The large version of the deer is extremely different though, having half the health damage compared to global, at least for the ones with antlers, as female deer have 100 less health. However, the thigh shot is not the best when it comes to the large deer, as the male deer has a heart hitbox which you can hit with any amount of damage and it will result in a one-hit kill. It doesn't matter if it's 1 damage, that animal is going to die. Females don't have hearts though, as evidenced by that time I got dumped by Tex, so going for the thigh shot in this case is the best, like a lot of other animals. If you didn't know, reindeer are basically copy-pasted large deer with a different texture, so they work exactly the same as large deer. They do have hearts, the male versions do, but they only spawn as a cow. It's worth noting though, to hit the heart hitbox, you need a weapon with decent penetration, as flesh is very difficult to get through, like the AK-74 or higher penetration, which can one-shot a male deer with hitting it in the heart, and it cannot one-shot it in any other body part. The flesh surface type is so difficult to penetrate with bullets and explosions that you can actually use them as cover from bullets and explosions, and they're going to be a lot better than most other surfaces in the game. Wolves work exactly like normal animals when it comes to hitboxes, so the thigh shot is the best again, but because they move around so much when they're aggroed onto you, headshots are a lot more practical with their 120 head health. In terms of quantity, a lot of wolves spawn on each of the maps, with 8 wolf packs at one time being on Chernarus with a pack size of 4 to 6, a huge 11 on Livonia with a pack size of 5 to 7, and on Sakau it's slightly larger groups at 8, but also 8 when it comes to the amount of packs that will be active, meaning that there can potentially be 64 wolves total on one Sakau server. When you kill 3 in the pack, it doesn't matter which 3, the rest of them will run and they don't despawn. They stop running after around 800 to 1100 meters, so Wobo was wrong again. They behave like a normal wolf pack again after they stop running. However, wolves appear to break when this happens, when they aggro and de-aggro, and if another player enters a 300 meter alert bubble of a wolf, sometimes they will instantly start to sprint from 300 meters to the target, so they won't make a howling sound before they start attacking. Or in some cases they won't aggro at all until 150 meters, where they will start to sprint instantly, which I believe is a reason for wolves not howling sometimes. This howling sound used to be client side, but now it emits a sound on the map itself, so all players within 900 meters can hear a howling wolf pack. All players within 800 to 900 meters will know if you've aggroed a wolf, with wolf howls traveling at the speed of sound like weapon sounds do. Do bear in mind that this wolf howl bug can happen on freshly spawned in wolves, and based on my tests, wolf howls and aggro is just a bit buggy in general, and it probably needs a lot of work to fix, or maybe an entire code rewrite. The AI of bears is not much better, as I was able to hit this bear to half health with just my fist before dying, mostly due to the protection of military helmet I had and the vest. So if you want to protect yourself against aggressive animals, melee protective gear is going to help you massively, and with how you cannot block their attacks, this is as good as the protection gets. Now this bear probably would have died to me if the damage multipliers worked like it did on other animals, but they very much do not, taking half damage from all sources instead. To put that into perspective, wolves take double damage to the head, so 3 shots with a Mark II will down them because they have 120 head health, so 40 damage per shot. For the bear though, it's 10 damage per shot, even on the head hitbox, so any hitbox, it's 10 damage from the Mark II. So you need 25 headshots with the Mark II, making bears a little over 8 times harder to kill than wolves. Headshots are an absolute must to kill a bear then, as their head only has 250 health compared to their 800 global health. And if you weren't listening earlier, reducing head hitbox to 0 on an animal will instantly drain their global health to 0 too, and then kills them. To conclude then, if you have a low penetration weapon that can't do double damage through the 5 shot easily, shooting for the head will kill them faster in a lot of cases. However, if you have a high penetration weapon, going for the 5 shot is the best case on all animals, but the male deer where you can shoot for the heart instead. The bear is the only exception here. With low and high penetration weapons, they die 3 times faster to headshots, so you always want to headshot bears. As for bear spawns, 2 are always active on Chernarus in these locations, and 3 are always active on Sakau in these locations, and a huge 5 to 8 in these locations on Livonia. You can find where all animals spawn on this map tour here. This feature is completely free, link below, which is also where you're going to find a video about animal paths in DayZ and how they travel around the map. In the next video, I go over how to get the maximum loot possible from animals and find the best animal to hunt on each of the maps. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.